Warning, this is a review of Sleeping Dogs by Square-Enix. No video, audio, clips from the game essentially are being used in this video, and this video is our opinions. Yes, meaning more than one.
Yes, I'm going to be participating in this video because I'm the one that actually beat the game myself, and I will say this now, the game is extremely inspiring towards me, so it's probably going to get a high grade.
like he said, respect the opinions incoming. They're good ones. Or else we're gonna have to hang you by a meat hook. Okay? Well, guys, welcome back to Kadic. I know it's been a while since I did an actual video game review. Uh, what was the last one? Oh, yeah, the last one was all the way back with Persona 4. So, I decided to do a video game review. And as luck would have it, it would be one of my top 26 that was on my list. And by the way, if you haven't viewed the top 26 by now, you're a little late to the party. This game is Square Enix's and United Front's Sleeping Dogs, which is a bit of a history. You see, Sleeping Dogs used to be True Crime Hong Kong back when the license was under control by the mighty Activision. But Activision didn't see fit to continue the True Crime series, so they let it go. The developers at United Front continuing to develop the game in earnest got picked up by Square Enix, who was looking for new properties. Thus, the game wound up in their hands, finished, and given a new title. This open world GTA style game pretty much takes place where the original idea originated, Hong Kong. You you play as Cop, and I use that term loosely, Wei Shen, who is returning from San Francisco, an odd callback to the original true crime that took place in San Francisco after having some bad run-ins with the hoods. But it was mostly to get an undercover job to try to shut down the Yi, a powerful Hong Kong division of the Triads, who just so happens to be loaded with a lot of Wei Shen's childhood friends, from the automatic Jackie to the tough as nails, almost too beefy for words, Winston, and all the other crew, and of course the rival crew leader, Dog Eyes, which I won't spoil what happens to poor Dog Eyes and everybody else, but let's just let's just say it's fun along the way. Gameplay wise, well, what can you say? It's finally an open world game that's so entertaining it doesn't bore me. The last time that happened was Saints Row the Third. The combat is predicated by the martial arts combat. And the martial arts combat, although simple, is one of the deepest, most satisfying, most that was cool you'll find in an open world game to date. Environmental attacks like hanging people from meat hooks, or throwing them into table saws, or making aquariums break with people's faces highlight some of the environmental depths. Some some of the attacks and combos can even leave people squeamish at times. Heck knows, I had to look away with a couple of them, and I like contuberous violence. Add that with an awesome chase camera and even better gunplay, which, as of this review, was definitely improved with a patch. And you have gameplay that pretty much rivals that of Arkham City with a story to match. Granted, I did not beat the game, so because I didn't, I decided to bring in the person that did, the newest Codeamerica partner, and just so happens to be my nephew, to tell you how good the story is and to give you his overall impressions. Say hi to the people.
Alright, hello, of course you know I'm Leoko Lion's nephew. The thing is I'm just gonna say this now. If I spoil anything, it's not my fault. If you want to leave the video, just leave it now. But, alright, the environmental attacks themselves are extremely gruesome. Like, one of them, you throw people into fish tanks, use the fish that fall out of the fish tank as a freaking weapon, for God's sake. And then, of course, as Leo Lion said, you can hang them by meat hooks. You can use table saws. You can basically use anything that's in the world. Trash cans, cooling systems, basically anything. And I'm just going to say this now, in the game, you can be a pimp. I was literally in 4 different relationships, and I smashed with 3 different chicks. So it's funny. And then, the story itself was extremely good. It is one of the very few stories in a game that has actually inspired me. Because what happened is he got into a bunch of trouble and his sister turned out to be a druggie and it was all Dog Eye's fault. So they went to San Francisco, and in San Francisco they tried to fix their lives, get everything straight, and it turned out Way ended up becoming part of another gang. And when he went back to Hong Kong, Dog Eyes was starting a lot of stuff with Jackie and Winston and Winston's mom and everything like that. And what happened is Way ended up becoming part of the Triad, which is basically just a Japanese gang. I mean, not Japanese, Chinese gang. And he became a Sun On Yi, and the rival gang was the 18K. And the thing is that Dog Eyes, he was not part of the 18K, but Dog Eyes, he actually tried to take the night market, which is the part of Hong Kong that Winston used, and Winston was not having it, and sooner or later, Dog Eyes ends up dying. Um, Dog Eyes, before he even dies, he keeps on trying to go after and kill Mrs. Chu, and it turns out that the main protagonist, well, there's 2 technically. The main 2 protagonists out of the whole entire game are Big Smile Lee and Inspector, I don't even know.
It's
Uh,
Pettigrew.
yeah, Inspector Pettigrew, that's it. And what happened is you actually end up making Pettigrew go to jail for life with all the people that he put in prison, and then also you get to feel really good about yourself because you get to throw Big Smiley into an ice chipper, for God's sake. It's fun. If I understand that I've probably ruined the game for you completely, but it is still a very, very good game. I would easily pick that game up no matter what. And on my scale, on a scale from 1 to 10, I give the game a 9.3.
He does things in points. I, however, do not. But our feelings are pretty much concurrent because of the strong story nature and the quite entertaining submissions, let alone the uniquely Hong Kong inspired soundtrack. that really sticks out, and it's invasive but not too crazy mission structure with a ton of collectibles that you'll actually want to collect. Things like unlockable lock boxes, the health shrines that echo back to Hong Kong monks and religious withstanding, let alone the 12 jade statues of the Chinese zodiac scattered all throughout the game. Trust me, my friend and my nephew here, Pancake, had 12 of them before completing the game, just missing the last one before completing his melee tree. The game is just straight up one of the most entertaining and thoughtfully done open world games as of late. Sure, you might get a little bit disposed by the slow mo and some of the things you have to do, like hacking security cams or placing bugs in vents that can get a little bit frustrating in later missions, but it's not too hard and it's not too easy either. And and there's plenty of benefit from getting massages at a massage parlor to the many lively shops all over the city of Hong Kong. It is actually one of the most lively open world games you can find on the market. And Square-Enix is just not going to get enough credit for how good this game is. Combine that with DLC that you can buy. They just recently released the Year of the Snake, a post-ending DLC that picks up where the story of the game left off. And you definitely got something worthy of a $60 plus with the DLC price tag. He gave it a 9.3. I'm giving it a 10. It pretty much averages, if we're going IGN style, to a 9.8. Translated. Pick it up. Play it. I know a lot of open world games can be boring and mundane, but this one certainly is not. And hopefully there'll be announcement on the sequel soon for next gen. And that would be so much fun because the story is left kind of pseudo open for one. So with that said, go pick that game up. I am Leoko Lion 59.
And this is Pancake Says Hi.
And we will be back with more Kadic reviews and beware for videos from Pancake coming soon solo. Until then, live life by the code.